Hi guys, welcome back to another Overthrow Disc Golf video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've heard you. I've read the comments. There's something that plagues you, and it's that swoop, the beloved elbow dip. Well, we're going to talk about it.
Drop.
Now, the reason I haven't made a video on this before is because I'm not so sure that an elbow dip is always a bad thing. Let me give you example A. So, Eliezer swoops her way to 536 feet of pure glory. If that's what it took for me to throw 536, I'm elbow dipping all the way, right? So we can't just blanket statement say that, okay, this is probably a bad thing. What I think is people who tend to swoop more, even with kind of good form, we might say, if you're more rotational with the shoulders and doing less driving with your elbow, you're going to be prone to more elbow dipping than someone who has a lot more elbow drive. So in the case of the elbow dip, giving your elbow a place to go and driving it forward covers a multitude of problems here. So just having a form where you get here and we say, okay, what needs to happen? Instead of turning my shoulders and getting scrunched up here, I need to have my elbow drive forward, right? So if you have a form that's very rotational in nature, where you're not driving, you should probably work on that first before we get into the two other issues here. So if you don't want to do that, you're probably going to have some sort of elbow dip, especially when we see you on a hyzer angles like this. Just with a rotational form, we're going to see it come out. But if you drive the elbow straight forward, it's kind of end of story regarding elbow dip. Now, other than that, there are two cases that I see that even when you are trying to drive the elbow forward, you are trying to get through the pocket, that you can still have that nagging elbow dip. First case is when someone lifts their elbow on the backswing. Let me clarify. So that looks like this. So if this is where my arm is coming through, this is where my elbow drive feels most powerful on my body. For Matty O, it's up here. For Simon, it's a little lower. Wherever it is for you, not specifically important, but what is important is that you maintain that height. So the elbow just wants to drive across that zone. It doesn't want to lift and drop into that zone and then come out of that zone, right? This is where we get the elbow dropping into the zone. Now the hand's up above the elbow, and then you try to course correct, and now the elbow goes up, and then the hand goes down. Most of you are probably watching this video because you're like, this is why I'm throwing nose up. Not necessarily untrue. So what that looks like is when people go here into their backswing, I'll do it totally straight up, even though this is not proper posture. You know this by now, right? Totally straight up and down at the hips. If I go back and I lift in my backswing, now my elbow is up at my shoulders. That's not where it was here in the power pocket, right? For me, it's kind of like sternum height, right? So if I go back, it should be staying at that same height, right? Which is actually a bit below my shoulder. So now it doesn't have to lift as it goes forward, it just drives forward. But if I go here and I lift, now my elbow's up with my shoulder. Now when I drive back into my power pocket, I had to drive down with the elbow, right? Very common problem. And you can fix it just like I showed here. Very simple. Get the disc in your pocket, turn, hold your elbow in place, hold your elbow in place. You're gonna have to put your hand here because I've seen people lift and not know that they were lifting. So you got to give yourself some feedback loop here. And then extend, right? So this would be the natural elbow height for me. Not up here, it was here. So now you kind of memorize that after you do that a couple times. This is what that elbow height feels like. And now let me just turn and put that disc in the position in one move. There. Right, now this lets me have proper height for my elbow drive. For a lot of you, with the swoop, it's gonna feel like your hand is really low, like you're reaching back really low. So with proper posture now, it looks like this. Here, not here. There, right? Now my elbow can drive. Situation number 2, people who tend to keep their shoulder, the fancy word is externally rotated here. That's 2 videos in a row we used that. Oh well. People who tend to keep their shoulder externally rotated here, like this direction, so you can find it like this, just the shoulder position. If you like give me arm wrestling, that would be external rotation, right? Like we're in the ready position, right? If you roll it back this way. So if your shoulder is back that direction, turned that way, right? So now my shoulder's turned that way. The forearm is not the shoulder, so the disc can be any which way here. But you see that the orientation of my arm is now that, like my elbow pit, whatever that's called, is upward, right? Still upward even though my disc is down, right? Don't be tricked by this part of the arm. So still up there. That's gonna make it so when I go to drive forward, my elbow naturally wants to drop with a straight drive. So what we wanna do is, instead of getting here with the elbow, get here where the elbow's out, and then I want you to win the arm wrestling match, right? All the way over. So now you should feel kind of tension here to maintain the space on top of the shoulder, right? Now the hand is below the elbow. So from there, when I go into my backswing, now my elbow pit is pointing this way because my shoulder is rotated this way, right? From there, I get in this position when I drive forward, not so dissimilar to Wiggins or AB. Having the shoulder turned this way will let the elbow drive forward / feel like it's driving upward even a little bit. And the nice thing about that is you're going to rotate out, like setting yourself up in that rotation position. You're going to rotate out the opposite way for your nose down. So loading up like that encourages the correct move towards the nose down that you're probably watching this video in order to get. All right, guys, that's my thoughts on the elbow dip on the swoop. I've seen it a million times in lessons. If you're still struggling, we've got lessons on our Patreon, link in the description below. We'll catch you over there. Peace.